What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Sorry we missed last week. Little crazy, doing crazy stuff. So, working. Thank God we were working, finally! As some of you may or may not know, we own a small arts and crafts business, and due to COVID-19 and all the restrictions around the U.S., we haven't been able to work a lot because of the restrictions. But now, a lot of them are being lifted here in Florida where we're at, and arts and craft shows and events are starting back up, so we're starting to work.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed that things keep going this way. So, anywho, we are here to talk about, what are we here to talk about again?
Kind of like a 2-year
review
of full-time living / how we feel about our grand design still, because we did a 1-year video a year ago about what we thought of the RV and any issues and stuff.
And how it was after 1 year of full-timing. Now, here's the difference between that 1 year of full-timing, and I'm going to put the link to the video up here so you can watch. That 1 year of full-timing that we did, pre-COVID, obviously, we were moving every 5 days.
If not every 2 or 3 days, depending on if we were like making our way to Michigan, we would drive a couple days.
Yeah.
Rest for a day, and then, so, but on average, about every week, we move.
Yep. So the slides were opening and closing more in 1 week than most people do in a season. Oh, there's the AC. Yeah. We'll turn that off. So before the AC kicked on, when we were traveling pre-COVID, it was 5 days to a couple of days depending on our travel. So we have used the suspension more, the AC more, the slides more than the average person does when they buy an RV. Even as full-timers who go and they park their RV for 6 months in one spot, they may only open and close their slides once, twice, maybe 5 times in 6 months. So they still don't get used a lot, even though you may have owned that RV for several years. So with an update, and ironically, it's not a lot that has changed in the year. Here we go. Here's our update for 2 years. All right, so first thing that we have noticed in the RV that is wearing more within that year is our cabinets. Now, that's not to say our cabinet hinges or the cabinet locks. It's more of the aesthetics of it.
It's the like the stain on the cabinets, and we'd mentioned that in the other video that it was starting to show a little wear. And it's just the areas where obviously there's the high traffic on the bottom of the drawers, maybe from us for our feet or vacuuming, and just a couple of like the outer parts from just probably opening and closing them so much. Yeah,
it's not like they're all deteriorating. It's just basically wear spots of, like for example, the one that's below the oven. We constantly just kick that closed. So the whole bottom trim, as you can see on the video, is just kind of wearing out. My top drawer in the bathroom, which I have video of here, is, that's a rub spot for us when we in there. When it's just, you can see, it's just on the edges of the square. So like, this is our note. Pretend this is the cabinet. So it's just like on the edges where you're constantly closing it and pushing it and things like that. That's the wear spots. But as far as
the actual wood and everything's holding up great.
Yeah.
It's just the high traffic spots.
Yep. And then there's no, I'm looking around here, but
we don't use these on a daily basis.
That's true. The hinges, no problems. The locking mechanisms that keep them shut, they're not worn out. But yeah, that's it. Everything's holding up nicely. Yeah, I think it's just wear for them and just rubbing raw. So, all right, on to number 2. And we see this a lot also, and ours has taken about 1.5 years to wear internally, not aesthetically, and that's these seats, mainly my seat. I sit on here a lot more because Renee sits on the chairs on the table over there with her little office, and when she has her computer up and all that, there's no room for me, so I have a tendency to sit here, do my video editing here. At 208 pounds, these chairs just get used when we're chilling and we're sitting back here and then, you know, just talking to people or whatever. So what I'm feeling here in this chair is that the springs are already worn out. And again, we don't sit here a lot to watch television, although it is my workstation. But this chair, I will sit on that chair because Renee does not weigh 208 pounds. And that chair is so much more comfortable because it hasn't been broken in. So, and she'll tell me, get off my chair, get off my chair. So, yeah, that's the only thing. And we are going to be looking to replace these. We see a lot of options on the Grand Design forums. Most likely will not go back to Thomas Paine.
No, probably
these
not.
are, you know, the leather's good. It's held up well. You know, every once in a while Lily will jump on here, but not really her thing. But the leather's what?
I don't think it's real leather.
I don't think it's the pleather. But it's heater was on. I was hot for. I was like, it's hot in here. Physically and aesthetically, they've held up really well. You know, there's some food down here or something like that, but whatever.
Yeah, we don't have the peeling. A lot of people have the claim they have problems with the peeling. We don't have any of that. It's just, like I said, the one chair is starting to...
Just the springs are compressing. They're cheaply made springs, and they're just compressing for sitting in it a long time. So, but functionally, mechanically, aesthetically...
Everything's still, all the heat and all that still works.
Yeah, hence why I just turned mine on because it was on. But yeah, other than that, they're perfect. They're great. I don't know how people are getting them just ripped and torn and shredded. I don't know how that happens. It could.
We have our shades up during the day, so the sun is coming in and hitting them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Different models probably.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, number 3. This is a big one. All right, number 3 on our list here, and this is mechanical, and this is kind of, we just found this out a couple weeks ago when we took our RV in for a little bit of maintenance. We took it back to our original dealer, Campers Inn of Ocala. They are awesome. If you're ever looking for an RV and you happen to be in the Ocala area looking, Campers Inn. I mean, everywhere's pretty much got a shortage of RVs right now in 2021. So, but their customer service and their Grand Design customer service is outstanding. So the sales team over there and Jody and her team over there in parts and parts and maintenance, I guess. Yeah. There, they rock. They treat you like kings. It is awesome. So we went in there for bearings, brakes,
just overall year inspection.
Yeah, just kind of like a year inspection. And Renee, when we set up, Renee is inside opening the slides, so she, you know, I'm outside making sure we're not going to hit anything. So she's used to the noises, and you heard a noise?
It makes like a clinking sound almost before it comes in, and kind of guilty to say it's been doing it for a little while, but the slides have worked perfectly, so we never thought really anything of it. We thought maybe like a loose screw just came off on one of the brackets or something. I don't know. we just kind of let it go. I didn't notice a difference because, again, I'm not in here. Even though I can hear the clicking noise, you know, when you open the slide and it is all the way out, it goes tuck, 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 tuck. That's the normal sound I hear. Well, that's when you want to stop.
Yeah, that's obviously when you want to stop. But you're hearing a different tone of it.
Yeah, when it comes in. I mean, almost before it comes in, it just makes a clink. And so I just mentioned it to her when we were there dropping it off, and of course, ends up we need to replace the slide motors. The slide motors.
Yeah, so...
Or they're going, I guess, she said.
Yeah, they're on their way out.
It is working, you know, good, so we didn't think anything of it.
Now, the good thing is, if it happens to go when we leave here in a couple weeks, we can still manually crank them in. But they are on order. They are working with Grand Design. We bought the extended warranty, and I don't think it covers the extended warranty. It is?
Yeah, we can do a video on that.
We'll update you on that, because it's kind of a big deal with the slide motors. So,
so if you hear a clinking noise and you're under warranty with Grand Design, definitely go to your dealer, because
as soon as possible,
can get it covered. And we probably, I think, we're still have been under warranty if we had done it, but I just didn't think it was anything important because the slides were still working. I figured if the slides were broken, they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So if you hear a noise, go to your dealer.
All right, so slide motors was that number 4. Oh no, number 3 is our slide motor. So yeah, if you hear outside weird noises that aren't of the norm for the person who operates them and hears them all the time, go get them checked. If your engine light comes on your truck, your tow vehicle, go get it checked because you don't want it to escalate into problems later. Even though you might not hear, feel, or see the problem, there's probably something going on that you're not aware of. And
this is our first RV with slides.
it is our first RV with slides.
So we didn't really know. Now I know that noise. So in the future, if I hear that on the other slides, I'll definitely be calling right away.
That's what it is. The slide motors, that's the only thing that worn out. Now, in defense of the slide motors and or Grand Design and or the manufacturer, we open our slides more than the average RVer. So we have accelerated the wear of this thing. So if you were to open these, I don't know,
like Weekend Warriors maybe, if that.
Even Weekend Warriors, I mean, that's, let's say double of Weekend Warriors, we're still double, triple of that because we just open them and close them so many times a week, yet alone a month with the Weekend Warriors. So, but yeah, so we're just going to say we've accelerated the use in 2 years. So, all right, off to number 4. All right, so number 4, and this is something that we feel everybody has a problem with, or 90% of the people in an RV, Grand Design, any RV that has a Dometic or just fridge in the slide. When
propane, whatever they call it, 3-way or 2-way.
3-way, yeah, propane, AC, DC, and no way. Well, ours is a 2-way because it's just propane and power.
Okay. Non-residential.
Right? Non-residential. The RV, when the Dometic, Norcold fridges that come in the RV, and usually that's a heating issue. We had heating issues or non-cooling issues where it was getting hot.
The freezer was working, I think.
The freezer was working, but the fridge. So last year, 2019, in August, we went to the Grand Design Rally in Indiana. They removed the wooden backing, the baffle is what they call it, that was in the top black vent. They took the vent off, removed that piece of wood, which was restricting airflow, the hot air out. And I don't know if they added another computer fan, but now we have like 4 computer fans blowing up, and then it's triggering or directing the air out. So that has made a huge deal. But then just recently, when we were on Cape Cod, locked up for COVID, it wasn't cooling at all. Now, granted, we were paying for electricity for 6 months, and it's quadruple the price in Cape Cod, like any other taxes out there. So we weren't having the AC on in here, so the ambient temperature in the RV was hotter than normal, and then outside was 80, 90 degrees. So I think that had a big effect on it, but we found something that had failed, and I'm going to post a picture of the part we bought and what we did. So on the cooling fins that are up top, there is a button thermostat. And what that does is trigger, when that gets to a certain temperature, it triggers the fans to turn on to blow the hot air out. That button thermostat died. So we bought another one. The one we bought had an adjustable temperature range. So if you want it to turn on, instead of like at 200 degrees, you can have it turn on at 120 degrees. Depending on the ambient temperature. So like if you're in Florida, let's say your slide is facing west and it gets the hot afternoon sun and it's just beating down on it, you can have it so when that temperature in there gets to 120, the fans will turn on rather than waiting when it gets to 200 degrees. We put that on there. We actually, since it was a bigger button thermostat than what it was supplied by Furrion, we just screwed it into the fin. Huh?
Not Furrion. Dometic.
Dometic, sorry. We just screwed it into the fin, and to be honest with you, it's more of a direct contact with the actual ambient temperature, so it worked out really well. So now it turns on, I think at 150 we have it set, or 175, somewhere around that range. But yeah, that was the only thing. Other than that, it's worked out really well. We do notice the fans kick on a little more than normal, but you don't realize it after a while unless you're filming. near the refrigerator and it kicks on. Other than that, that's the only other fridge problem we've had, but that's just a common problem. So if your fridge fans don't turn on and you're racking your brain and you want to put fans inside to move the air, check the little button thermostat that's on the cooling fins up top. That was number 4, was the button thermostat on the fridge cooling fins on the outside. Whew, that was a lot. Number 5, and I think this is our final one unless we figure something out from here. Microwave. As many of you have seen our microwave video, our Furrion microwave died. A lot of people said it was just the fuse inside and this, that, and the other, but I think it gave us a legitimate excuse to say, thank God we could get rid of it. Let's get out of here. Let's get a new one.
Well, plus, too, I read a lot of reviews that people got the fuse, and then it would work for like maybe a week, and then that fuse would blow, and there was just constant issues. So I was just like, let's just get rid of it. I don't use the, was it a convection?
Convection.
I've never used the convection. I don't know how to use the convection. So I was fine getting rid of it. And then we got a nice, pretty stainless steel one. Yeah,
it looks cool in there. And it's a regular house microwave. The only thing I can say is, and I'm going to link a description up here, a tag to the video so you guys can watch that. We've never replaced a microwave in an RV. So it was very rough video of obviously us not knowing what we're doing, which is a lot of our videos. So there's no exhaust in this RV to go out. So it directs in. Whoa. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Wow. It directs back in and goes out the Fantastic fan, which we haven't had a problem. The microwave fan to suck up what you're cooking, as opposed to just using the Fantastic fan above everything.
I think you can cut a vent in the RV.
Yes,
but I wasn't about to start cutting.
Yeah, and plus too, you got to remember it's in the slide, so I don't want to cut a hole in the slide to exhaust for the exhaust when I know it's going to come in and go out the Fantastic fan, because then you can't really put a cover over it because the slide has to come in and out. It would create more damage. So. For us, less is more on this one, and we just put the microwave in.
That's how the RV one was. It was vented the same way.
So we vented the same way.
Copied the same thing.
Yep. The only thing is the front flashing looks a little different. But other than that, that's it. Again, I'll link the video to here, and you can watch that. But all in all, the only thing that's legitimately Grand Design made is the cabinets. Mm-hmm. Everything else is components that are third-party manufactured. Thomas Paine, the slide motor, which is probably Lippert, and we have the rack and pinions on the big slide, and on the little slide is the Schwintek. Fridge, obviously that's Dometic and Norcold if you have a Norcold, and then the microwave is Furrion. So all the third-party stuff that is mass-produced is just, they all have a lifespan, and we're accelerating those lifespans by using it every day, like if we were living in a house. Well, we are living in our house here. So those are the only reasons why I could say some of those things are failing a little faster than normal, but that's about it.
It's just technology.
It's just technology, and no offense to the quality of anything, it's just cheap technology. They're just popping them out and mass producing them to get out there. So the quality control may not be great on every single one. Whereas Grand Design's build quality control, they check every single one, and that is reflected in the quality of their RVs. Something that we did replace, and I don't know if we've talked about it in a video, was the leaf springs.
That was in 2020.
Oh, that was in 2020.
We had just done it right before we did the video.
That's right. So we did do the leaf springs. I don't know if I have a video. If I do, I'll put the link up here. But other than that, that's about it. You have here a couple modifications.
Yeah, we just did a couple mods. I mean, I'm always looking for ways to maximize our space in the RV. We got a video, I'll have Scott link it. We added a spice rack to our pantry door, which has been a huge help to get just the basket of spices out of the pantry.
A lot of positive feedback on that video.
Yeah. Super easy to install. Amazon, a couple days it was here. So I could do the cooking, but I love the spice rack. I open up the door, I can see all the spices, and even if there's days I'm like, Scott, grab me this and that.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's easier for me to find it.
He can find the spices for me on the rack, so I love that. And then we'll show you the pictures. We add just a little tiny shelf in the cabinet by the stove. I just had a lot of empty space for what I used the cabinet for. I had empty space. Other people may have tall things in there, so you would not want to do what I did.
And you're talking about the cabinet to the right of the
Yeah.
oven, to the oven. So we have a narrow cabinet that's down there, and it was just open. So if you have something tall that you can slide in, it works. But we didn't have anything that would fill up the whole vertical length of the cabinet. So
I just saw it as, for us, wasted space.
Yep.
And as you'll see in the picture, it's just a white, I call them like laundry shelves or the closet shelves. And I flipped mine upside down so the lip actually kind of makes a lip. And then I just got the little hooks that go with the wire shelves, and we just had it cut to size, and I just put the little clips in and made a shelf.
Yep. And
so
you'll see the picture here. I'll put the picture up somewhere up here.
So it just holds our toaster and some other little knick-knacky stuff. And
yeah, and that's the perfect height for a toaster and whatever else is there that's yay high. But then if you start stacking stuff vertically, you don't want to put the toaster on top of all that stuff without a shelf, because then you pull that out and everything collapses, and then you have...
It was just becoming, for me, a junk cabinet, because everything was just being thrown in there. Nothing was on a shelf or anything. So just a quick little mod we did just to add more storage space for us. And that's kind of it. I mean, we've done like some different wallpaper in the RV and stuff like that.
Yep, the
Other
wallpaper.
than that, we've...
Nothing very structurally going on. The only thing we are going to work on probably is the shades. I mean, that's definitely a project that we want to do, is get rid of these brown shades, put something a little more colorful, and change the valances up here. And then obviously down the road, we're going to change this out, because this really does get annoying sitting here. Even for this long, for this video, like I'm already sunk down to the hard point where the wood is down there, and there's no more bounce to it. I mean, there's no...
Do you usually bounce in your chair?
Not really, but normally there's some rebound there where it gives me a little booty cushion, but now it's not there. So, yeah. So that's it, guys. How long have you been in your RV? Have you found any of these similar issues in your RV, whether it be Grand Design or not? I mean, what have you found, or what have you found that we have maybe to look for? I mean, we may have missed something. We're just kind of looking at stuff that we see every day, and maybe there's something else we should check. Oh.
And we do like our regular maintenance. I mean, we're not going to go over all the,
I was just going to mention that.
That
Yeah, our
we
regular
do
maintenance
regular
is good.
Maintenance. So this is just stuff that, I don't want to say is major we found over the year, but just stuff rather than your regular maintenance.
Yeah, and our regular maintenance stuff, like I just did caulking up there, up top on the roof. There was some of the corners, being sun beat here in Florida. Those are just regular maintenance types things.
Or wax it or whatever.
Wax the front.
The front
cap. Yes, wax the front cap. That was a topic of Neil and I's conversation. Neil is our neighbor next door. So we were just talking about the cap, waxing that. So other than that, that's it, guys. We appreciate you hanging around for another video. Hopefully this was informative for you, or at least, informative if you have a Grand Design.
Or thinking of getting one.
Or,
I think we can both say we're both very happy with our Grand Design.
100%.
Definitely huge difference in the builds and the quality.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for full timing.
Yes, definitely. So we love it. We like it at our house. We don't see us straying away from Grand Design if we were to upgrade to a fifth wheel. But other than that, it's just been solid. So thanks again for watching, everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Please give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. We have noticed that our range of views is a lot greater to the range of subscribers. So if we can get everybody who watches this video, just hit that subscribe button, and you'll also get notified when a new video comes up. And we've been looking for every Monday around noon. We are toying with the notion of going every other week, and that is just because we're not moving as much and not doing as much stuff. So
We might be getting back to work.
and we might be getting more heavily back into work. So we don't want to shortchange you guys and then all of a sudden go, where's our video? But let us know down below if you like this every Monday format, if you're watching them. We do see a lot of our regulars commenting, and a lot of people getting the quality information. So we really appreciate that. So again, give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and check us out as always on Instagram. Instagram is always our daily updates, where we're at, what Lily's doing, other than laying on the floor again. and where we're at. Like the other day, we just went kayaking. So that was a blast. I can't wait to go back on the kayak and get out in the saltwater. Once again from Florida, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you out on the road.